breaking news out of Northern Ireland. What do you got for us, sir? It looks like pretty intense over there.
Is on fire right now, and this all comes on the heels of a shocking video that came out just last night where a migrant, a Sudanese migrant, was found in the middle of the street conducting what I can only describe as an ISIS-style or terrorist-style beheading of a Belfast man there in the middle of the street. He was interrupted. He was stopped in his tracks by a group of men who came by, a group of locals who came by before the police, I might add. And the film is one of the most horrific things I've seen. I would say it's the most horrific thing I've ever seen, but this just comes on the heels a couple weeks after the Henry Novak video that was just released in another part of the UK. This is, of course, Northern Ireland, but still part of the UK. And you could see the individual's face is covered in blood. He's attempting to saw through the neck, isn't able to do so, so they were able to save his life. But what's happened now in Belfast is Northern Ireland is responding that they are done with the migration policies. They are completely done with everything. You're seeing...
They've had enough? They've had enough? Oh, a beheading in the middle of the Belfast streets? This is crazy, especially because you don't understand the past that has occurred there in Ireland. These people are tough. I mean, if you want to talk about the IRA, for example, these people will come after you. And there's a couple other factions that are up there in Ireland, is that these aren't people you want to mess with. When they turn on you, things are going to go bad.
Hundreds of men dressed in black who are out there. And Steve, here's what's really interesting. You know, you've seen, certainly Northern Ireland is no stranger to scenes like this, but what's different here is this isn't about Protestant Catholic. It's not about Northern Ireland versus the Republic of Ireland.
This is not the trouble. This is not the Troubles.
It's not. Well, it is the Troubles. It's
the new Troubles.
But it's a different kind. It's the new Troubles. That's for sure. But it's in a different direction because you're seeing Catholics and Protestants on the same side. That's what I was getting at, Steve. Is that they're on the same side now. This is very much about the old inhabitants, the original inhabitants of these isles, Ireland and the British Isles, and the newcomers, and they are done. The people are just
Jack,
done.
I want to frame this for a second. We've sent Kevin over. Your brother's done great reporting for us all over the place.
And he was in Northern Ireland for a piece of that.
But we sent him to the Republic of Ireland, which has a horrible migrant problem. You're starting to see the beginning of a MAGA or nationalist, populist nationalist movement there. But they're under different law. The Northern Irish are under British law. I mean, that's one of the issues. And this is with Nigel and the guys that, you know, they're sometimes not the focus like the Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson's actually trying to pull this together. He's trying to unite, although an Englishman, he's trying to unite Northern Ireland and the Republic in some sort of combination here to let people know, hey, it's one Ireland.
They need some help in Ireland. Let me tell you something. Tommy Robinson is a brother to you guys. Conor McGregor's another one. I can't believe that you're not tapping into this national treasure that we call Conor McGregor, a guy that is so on your side. But I think what's happening is they probably threatened to arrest that guy. I'm not sure what the case is. Maybe Conor McGregor doesn't want any part of this anymore. I don't think that's the case. But we'll see what happens as this thing plays out.
Migration, this migrant policy, whether it's coming out of London or coming out of Dublin, is not acceptable to the people of Ireland. Is that correct?
Well, Steve, that's exactly right. So you're seeing folks like Tommy Robinson as well as Conor McGregor, so an Englishman and an Irishman, who are both in complete agreement here, which is not typically the case when you're discussing something that happened on the streets of Northern Ireland. You're seeing Protestants and Catholics. You're seeing folks who, you know, perhaps their fathers had come to blows or even worse during the Troubles, and they're coming up and saying, look, this isn't about those divisions anymore, and we can take care of that at this point, but this has now become existential.
This is such an interesting situation because when he talks about the Troubles, that was such a violent time in Northern Ireland's history. And I know that people that were holding court in Dublin were trying to get this worked out for years and years. But let me talk to you just for a second here about what the Troubles is. When historians refer to the UK and Ireland as the Troubles, they're talking about a violent 30-year conflict in Northern Ireland that lasted from 1968 to 1998. It wasn't a traditional war, and it was clearly on the front lines in a low-intensity conflict marked by street riots, bombings, sniper attacks, and police brutality. While it is often oversimplified as a religious war between Catholics and Protestants, the root of the conflict was actually a national identity and a civil rights situation. Here it is certainly a conflict that was about who was involved and how it was to end. Now that brings us to today. This situation, especially with Muslim immigrants, people that aren't of Irish descent, coming in, acting like they're acting, and now demanding things from a country that will not tolerate this.
It becomes existential, Steve, because they are going after, they're beheading people in the streets. They're killing sons. They're raping daughters. It's got to stop. Enough is enough, and that's what this is. We could be looking at the makings of an uprising here.